when I met Jenia, I didn't know anything about Ukrainian wines. She actually took me to her wine bar. She did a tasting for me with the Ukrainian wines. She actually was so passionate about Ukrainian wines that made me right away want to learn more, want to study more. I actually started in conversation with our students that at the time we were teaching at the Ukrainian Wine Spirit Academy. And at that time, all of the students were so. It turns out that everybody is so patriotic, as you say, but everybody's so excited that there is a Ukrainian winemaking. And when we had breaks and when we had lunch breaks, they would actually bring out the wines. Like, you should try it. You should know this. That's where when I tasted the native grape varietals for the first time also. So I think you do have a great contribution because since then I've watched you grow, and I've watched how you spoke about Ukrainian wines very much around the world, in real life situations and online. So this you are a great contribution, and I do remember our conversations also when I was there, when you were telling me how the geographical indicators and in Ukraine are being developed, how you're supporting yourself that, and I would love for us to move that conversation, to what happened with that, because back then when we were talking, you were talking about the development of geographical indications in Ukraine. You were talking about the new wineries that are coming up. You were talking also about winemaking. You were planning to make wine yourself. So tell us, what are the regions, where can we expect the winemaking? What are the influences, climatic influences on that winemaking, and how they're different differ stylistically? Because that's important. You've already mentioned that we have there are the mountains, the seas. All of those are important influences on the styles that we can expect from Ukrainian wines.
Okay, thank you so much. It's really pleasure to hear what you said. But I also want to add that we have a few people here, and we have a few girls. The name of one is Alina Tenetka, another one is Masha Skochenka. They are so-called flying enologists right now. So for a moment, they're working in New Zealand, and they also have an experience of working in New Zealand, in USA, in Germany, in France, somewhere else. And I should say in 2000, I think it was 2019 or 18, they developed the school of craft winemakers. So actually, they were the one who gathered together the newcomers in the winemaking business, and usually, so what we see right now in Ukrainian wines, that people who are just passionate about winemaking. So they used to be lawyers, they used to be accountants, they used to produce furniture. So they was passionate about wines, let's say 5, 10, 15 years ago, and they wanted to produce wines by themselves. So they had money, they had passion, and they decided to invest, but they just didn't know how to make it. So that two girls, they just made a school of craft winemakers, and I would say they just gathered together that people and saying, okay, guys, to produce wine, you should to make this, to make this, to make this, and they make a great. They made really great projects. Of course, they made a consultancy as well. And I should say, as soon as they opened that school, the quality of craft Ukrainian winemakers, so it still grow and grow and grow.